ever going to be a normal week around here, do you think?
All right.
Just
give me a little room with the mics, guys, please.
How have the kids, just, I mean, the wild up and downs of emotion, going through all they went through last week, and then the high of winning, and then all the fallout after it. How have the kids
I don't know if there's any fallout. We won the game, so I think everybody's excited. We won a game, and 2-0 in a Coastal. We've got another Coastal game coming up against a team that's hot. So it's really not time to look in the rearview mirror, but look ahead.
But they obviously were really fired up this morning at the beginning of practice. You could feel a difference.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think our team has been fired up the whole year. I don't see where we're out here and haven't been practicing and practicing well. So that's just the truth.
Not going to ask opinion on the PIs, but how many teaching moments were there from that last drive?
Again, well, you watched it, right? What'd you think?
You want my opinion on the
PIs?
Yeah.
I'm just asking you.
I thought 2 of the 3 were botched. I thought Artie's was good. I thought Corn's second one was. I thought Artie's pick was good. I thought Corn's first one was PI. I thought the second one wasn't. But still, though, in a game, were there other teaching moments that you can come out and how to even handle that situation?
Yeah, there's a ton of teaching moments, and there were penalties that we were responsible for, certainly, that we have to teach and take responsibility for, and that's what we'll do. But when we present the tape and we show something, okay, there's some that are obvious, and hey, that was a penalty, and it's not, and there's maybe some that weren't so obvious, and I think it's hard to try to tell a kid that he had a penalty when he didn't have one. So I'm not going to do that. If I feel like it wasn't one, I'm going to let him know.
Mark, after a game like that, is the hangover of a win goes farther than the hangover of a loss almost because of everything that's going on after it?
No, I mean, again, I think everybody's conditioned that you have a routine. You get in the season, it's 7 days a week, and you play on a Saturday and you watch the tape on a Sunday, and you get ready for the next opponent on a Sunday, and the players get a lift and they get healthy. And I think everybody's conditioned that Sunday is Sunday, Monday is Monday, Tuesday is Tuesday, and you just keep plowing ahead. I really think that's the routine of the season. So we're in the routine of the season right now, and got a great opportunity.
When you look at the big plays Corn has made, the return against FAU, I think, the pick against Nebraska, obviously what he did Saturday. Has he been a big play guy in practice too, or is this a kid when the lights are brightest, that's when he tends to have his biggest moment?
No, he makes plays in practice, and generally that's the guys that fight through everything, and when we're out here for an hour and 45, 2 hours, again the practices are designed to be tougher than the game, so to train them for the game, and he's one of those guys that he'll make plays at the end of practice. He'll make plays at the end of the practice when he's most tired, and that shows up. He's just one of those kids. Obviously he's a great high school athlete, and he's kind of one of those deals, especially on a play like that where the ball's getting lateraled around. I'm sure that was how he looked when he was on the basketball court, or how he looked when he was playing, pickups, whatever, in gym class or whatever it was. I'm sure that's part of it. A lot of those guys that were out there on the field for that last play were those type of guys. They kind of throw the ball out there and let him run around and make some plays. So Corn's one of those guys.
When you guys were recruiting him, what screamed D-back?
Just his change of direction, his lateral quickness, and all that. Again, obviously he was a point guard, but when you can have that kind of ability to let's say cross over or or move laterally and play defense and do those things, then you can see the lateral quickness and you can see the change of direction. So that really usually translates.
Mark, in terms of what you've gone through at the linebacker position, to see Jermaine the way he stepped up and the way he's playing, how big has that just
That was huge. We certainly needed that. And again, I'm glad you brought that up because obviously, Trent Harris started at Mike linebacker for us, and that was our 4th Mike linebacker of the season. And Jermaine hadn't been out like Kirby, Darian, and Marquise hadn't been out, but he certainly has not been healthy. He has not been 100%. So he had a good week. He made his mind up. He was going to play really well, and he played a heck of a game. So that was big for us, in that we got Trent in there his 2nd week, which kind of took some of the pressure off Juwan of having to play the whole game, and they gave us kind of a 2-headed guy in there at the mic, and then Grace did what he did. So I think the 3 of them combined somewhere in the 30s for tackles, which was great production, and obviously a big difference when you're talking about the way the game was conducted and where we were at in the game. So proud of the whole group, but he really did step up. Mark, you're on the money on that.
Mark, just one follow-up on Corn. When you were recruiting him, did you have to lobby the offensive staff a little bit just to make sure that he was on your side?
Oh no, well there were certainly, everybody thought he could do something with the ball in his hands, and again that's why he returns punts for us and does that. So it's great when you can get a guy who can play defense and also has the ability to do some stuff with the ball in his hands. But certainly we knew that he could come in here and he could be a guy that could play on either side of the ball. As a lot of them can, you know, a lot of the guys that we get.
Can you take us through the last play through your eyes? What you were thinking, what you were...
I saw it going around, and then when the ball obviously we got that long one from Dallas back to our sideline, I was about 50 yards down the sideline, and I could see the angles. You know, I saw what the defenders were, and I saw we had it lined up, and I said, well, we got a shot. You know, and just based on the leverage we had on everybody and where we were at, so that's when I realized we had an opportunity. Just hoping that we didn't run out of bounds.
I mean, are you able to process as you're seeing, or is the football coach just working practically, pragmatically?
Yeah, probably a little both. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Football coach was working and looking at the blocks and looking at the numbers and the leverage, and the other part of me was just hoping we scored. You know.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mark.